Agenda West Side Beer.
I didn't hear what you said. Okay.
You said, let's go, Trump.
I said, let's go. Well, this is my what?
Go ahead.
Hi, I love you.
I thought I heard something.
Guys, welcome to episode of the West Comics. My name is Frank. All right. I know a lot of you guys are tuning into the debate, and you're going to get one. Hot live action of debate right now, the next hour or so. Joining me at the table is the hot dog, corn dog, maybe voting independent dog, Paul.
I am not afraid to say on live television. This is live television.
Yeah, we're on YouTube TV.
I'm not voting for either of those two dudes.
Please stay home. Do not waste your vote.
I'm wasting my vote because it's not on them.
Please, Lord.
That's not how a democracy works. Ooh, political debate.
Oh, God. There won't be one if... Go ahead, Frank.
No, it's okay. Uncle Nephew Shane is here.
Certain dudes get in. Go ahead.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he's over there.
Oh, boy.
All right. Guys, there's going to be plenty of debate. Don't worry. We're going to be arguing about lots of things this evening. This past Tuesday, we're going to do Sunday first. This past Sunday, we got another installment, season 2 of Hot D. Season 2, House of the Dragon dropped, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this latest episode. I'm going to start with Shane.
It's I loved it. I thought it was great. Do you? I'm going to start this by asking the question though. Do you feel this series is a tad simple in comparison to the original Game of Thrones series? It may be a scotch simple. I don't know if they're trying to do this. You know, there isn't a ton of different plots going on. There just seems to be one big plot happening. But as far as what we've gotten, it's pretty great. You know, the acting, of course, is great. The script is great. This past episode with the twin brothers fighting.
Arik and Eric?
Yeah, Arik and Eric. As if there isn't enough people on this show with names that sound alike.
There's 14 Aegons. There's Viserys, Jaehaerys.
Daemon, Taharius, Tanise.
Yeah.
Denise.
Kanye. Arsenio.
I was just saying, but I do feel it's fantastic. And Otto Hightower, his scenes in this latest episode were absolutely brilliant, where he's just railing against his grandson, the king.
He was fantastic.
He was fantastic. He's like, what are you morons doing? Why are you doing this?
And he's like, your father, man, he messed up.
It's so great. It really is great. But it is just, it's very the only problem I have with it, which I'm sure nobody has that big of a problem with, and I don't think I have that big of a problem with it, but it is one note. It is just one note. We're just waiting for war to happen at this point. And Now, you know,
And we're going to get it.
we're going to get it.
Right, Paul? Because
Big time.
this season is shorter than the original episode count for season 1.
Right.
We're only going to have 8 or 9 episodes.
What was the first season? 10?
I think it was 10. Yeah.
10. I am currently working my way through the first season, so I actually haven't started the second season yet. I'm like, I've already seen most of the first season, but I want to finish it again. And like, I don't want to watch the recap. I want to like
Sure.
actually watch
Wanna
and
live
be
it.
like, yeah, exactly.
You wanna,
I wanna
like,
live
I
it.
see this. I want to live it.
But
So you're like past the halfway point of the first season?
oh, I'm on like episode 9
Oh,
or
okay.
10. Yeah, I'm like right there.
Okay, proceed, sir.
But I'm excited to see where everything goes from the first season. I think I might be. Yeah, I'm on episode 9. I just finished 8, the one where, or I've just started episode 9 where Viserys dies. And
Yeah,
Allison is like, he told me that Aegon's gonna be king.
You're going to be king.
And everyone's like, did he though?
Man,
Did he though?
Did he?
though?
Really?
But
And
what
she's like,
Aegon?
she's
Really?
like, I swear. And then her dad's like, we're gonna kill Rhaenyra. And she's like, why would you do that? And I'm like, what? Did you expect him to say literally anything else?
Yeah.
I don't know. But the show is good. And it, I mean, I guess it's, I don't, even the first season, I don't disagree with that. It's,
With the whole.
it's fairly simple. There's not as
Yeah.
many families involved. There's like
I mean, even. But
2.
I know, Paul, even the first season had some kind of different things happening. So far this season, it really is like.
Has there been a lot of hot dragon action in the second season yet?
There's been a little dragon action. I wouldn't say there's been tons of hot dragon.
Not a ton.
Not a
yet.
ton.
No.
Not yet.
Not
I think
yet.
that's what's coming.
It's going to get.
I think it's coming.
Oh, we're
this-
going to get hot D.
I think this next episode is where it's supposed to happen.
Paul's not comfortable saying hot D.
never has been.
I'm not comfortable with the way that you said it.
I didn't mind it.
We are going to, okay, all right. We're going to get some hot D.
No big deal for me.
That's what that guy just said.
Oh, my goodness.
That's probably what's being said in the debates right now.
Right.
Yeah.
For the,
Yeah, man.
I think that the dynamic between Rhaenyra and Daemon is going to be something that goes like throughout. It's going to play out throughout this season.
It was a good scene too. With
It was fantastic. I mean, Paul,
Paul
I think
catch up.
you're going to love that. Their back and forth is great in that second episode, and it just shows their acting chops.
Yep.
I mean, it was really good, and I think, she's at the point where she can't trust him. I don't really think she's ever trusted him. To
No,
be perfectly honest with
I
you,
don't think anyone can. Like, I
No.
don't think anyone really has given him that kind of, I don't want to spoil it for Paul, but I don't think Paul.
I don't.
He might remember
if
it,
it's-
but he might not.
If it's good, then even if I know what's going to
Yeah, it
happen,
doesn't
I'm of
matter.
that mind. Like, I don't mind spoilers as long as it's good. It's still going to be good, even if I know what's going to happen.
Well, Damon and Rhaenyra are arguing about Viserys and how he couldn't trust Daemon, and Damon's like, he was jealous of me, and Rhaenyra's like, no, he wasn't jealous of you. He just couldn't. He knew he couldn't trust you.
Yeah.
Like, he just knew
Basically.
it. Like, so that's why he didn't want you hanging around.
You're telling me the uncle niece relationship is
It's fraying.
There's trouble in paradise. There's trouble in paradise
this
between
isn't going well.
the union of uncle and niece. I never would have guessed. Who could have possibly
It
imagined?
is odd.
Yeah.
You're at the wedding in the background. You're like, you're
I don't
attending the
think this
wedding,
is gonna
and you're
work
like,
out.
I mean, good luck. I mean, I
Did
wish you
you-
the best.
Did you know that that's his?
Did you know they're already related?
Who are you voting for?
Yeah.
Really, I didn't know that.
You think this is gonna?
They look a lot alike.
Man, I give it 8 months and it ain't done. Ain't gonna be done. Did we keep the receipt on that gift? Keep the receipt on the gift. On the
We
gift.
were supposed to
They're-
get gifts.
Target.
Your gift registry at Target, Arian.
Get him a T-shirt that says "All in the Family."
Oh wow,
Target Dragonstone.
yeah,
I
brother.
mean, it's gonna be. But what's coming? It's like we're all saying. Like,
Target.
it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be really, very, very dope. But it's so far so good. I love it. I think it's great.
I think that
Change your tune a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I
We're having
think
a good time.
the show is.
Cheerleaders are hitting.
Definitely. I do agree what you're saying that there's a lot of like one note type of theme to it, but there's still a lot of story to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, it's gonna get super jacked up.
Yeah.
And I wish there'd be like a different choice as far as like naming people, because even in the scene that Rhaenyra in the second episode is, she's obviously she's in a grieving period, whatever.
Yeah.
I think one of those little kids that she's playing with is also named Aegon.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's just
when I was watching the catching up and finishing season 1 the other day, I got very confused. Like at a midway through one of the episodes, I was like, which kid is which? And
Like
which
who
one
they belong to?
Which one? No, not even that. I was like,
of the two older ones.
I was like, which one is the oldest? And Aegon is the oldest.
Mhm.
Aemon looks much older than him.
Yeah.
The eye patch probably has something to do with that.
Uh-huh.
But
He just looks like an old dude.
yeah, I was
Too.
like and I was like, wait, okay, I gotta reacquaint myself with everything that's going on. So I literally found a family tree, and I was like, okay, that's going on. And there's like 3 Aegons
it was like
within
a family shrub.
Yeah.
family shrub, yeah. And there's like I'm not even kidding. There's like a little like checkered dot going to the outside to Harwin Strong.
Right.
For like
Bro.
I forgot about him too. I forgot he.
because season
Fathered a
or in
kid.
episode 8, Aemon's like, yes, I love our family. And you two boys, I can't remember their name off the top of my head right now. You guys are very strong-willed, very strong. And they're like,
Clown. Dare you?
Why I oughta?
you're telling me that those kids' daddies weren't black? Never would have guessed. Never would have guessed.
Just look at them.
I feel like,
Then somebody eventually go, look at them.
yeah.
Clearly they're not,
Right.
And then Damon cuts what's his name's head off
Yeah.
That's right.
in half.
In half.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even be talking about that because we're doing, are we doing Run It Back? With
Well,
have to wait.
Well, yeah, but that's later on.
Yeah,
That's a few weeks
later.
from now. They'll
Yeah.
forget what we're
No.
talking about. And then, by
You
the
don't
end of
think
this
anybody else-
Shane's
sentence.
yelling at me about who I should vote for, and now he's yelling at me about House of Dragons, who I should talk about.
Well, it's good that he's already in
Saying.
yell mode, because we're about to talk about the hottest topic that
this
there
will be
is
fun.
in all of nerddom. The latest episode of The Acolyte dropped on Disney Plus just a couple of days back. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this episode, and then I haven't really said too much when we were talking in the chat earlier this week. I didn't really say a whole lot, but
Yes, you
I
said
wanted
you
to
were
get
gonna
your guys'
hold
thoughts,
off.
and then I'm gonna. No, yeah,
he said, I liked it more. See you Thursday.
Yeah,
That's pretty much exactly
That's
what
all he said. I'm
um,
not going to say, he said, I'm not saying anything else about it till Thursday is what the gist was.
all right.
Frank, he doesn't like to, spoil the punch.
No.
Until
But you go. You
Keep
go
your
ahead.
hands off my truly.
I wanted to see if it was cold or not.
Oh, it's cold, baby.
But I went first on this. You go first,
Paul, go
Paul.
ahead.
You want me to go
'Cause
first?
You liked it a lot.
Acolyte.
I don't even know. I don't even know if I liked it a lot. Like I'm not. I don't want the
Oh, you don't want
issue to get confused. I'm not sitting there watching this thinking,
Power of one. Sorry, go ahead. I was trying to distract him.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not. I'm gonna try to mimic what I'm seeing Biden and Trump do over there on the television.
Great show.
Come on, man.
I'm not sitting there watching this thinking it's like I just rewatched season 1 of True Detective, so
Yeah.
like everything pales in comparison right
It's
now.
like very similar.
What are you doing?
I've been
Even-
watching this.
even
watching the greatest shows
even
ever.
House of Dragons and
Yeah.
and I'm watching The Boys. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I've liked pretty much everything I'm watching right now.
Yeah.
All of it pales in comparison to something like True Detective season 1.
The season 1 of True Detective is absolutely
But so
Fantastic.
my point in saying that is I'm not watching this like this is the best television I've ever watched.
I'm sure you're not. I'm just
no.
saying you
The-
enjoy it.
So
more
the
than
episodes are 30 minutes long. I'm sure that bothers some people. It doesn't bother me.
Really?
I'm in and I'm out.
Not really.
I don't know how much better they would be if they were longer.
It wouldn't be.
Shane's already bored. But
I am.
I don't know. I've liked the direction of the show. I know you don't like the sister dynamic too much. I do. I think it's interesting. I think them being on two different sides of the coin, but also like you can tell they're sisters and they like love each other, but they've got like ulterior
Issues.
motives and stuff. I think it's fairly interesting. And The last episode, I was busy last week. I'm not even 100% sure what you guys had to say about it, but I know it wasn't glowing reviews. I guess
Paul didn't watch us.
I guess the episode was called Day. Is it episode 4? I guess it was a little boring, but other than that, I thought it was fine. And then the complaints of like, oh, we're not building up characters before we kill them. You can't say that anymore. You cannot say that anymore. I think this episode was super interesting.
It was almost too much. This episode.
The fights were good. I thought the choreography was great, and I thought it was a quick, fun episode where we get to meet somebody new, and I think there's potential for something really cool to happen by the end of the show with some established characters in canon, and So I've never understood people being so upset about these movies or these shows and movies not following the canon, the source material. This Star Wars wasn't a book that became a movie. It was a movie that people wrote a bunch of fan fiction books about.
Yeah. But isn't it kind of course correction though? What they do with Star Wars in general now is that they're forcing everything to be canon.
Well, they're picking and choosing.
But there's a lot of even the YA novels. I mean, everything is everything has to fit into this what Star Wars thing is. These are your parameters. They don't give you any type of creative liberties.
Yeah,
like they would do a little bit with like what DC Comics does, or what Marvel has done a little bit with their animated versus shows and everything. It doesn't seem like Star Wars gives you that leeway. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's okay. I don't know. I guess I like the idea that the canon of Star Wars lives on screen.
Okay,
not in the pages of a book. Because there's so many things where the canon lives on the pages, and I don't care about the rule of 2 being broken, about the whatever, about, well, Anakin's not special now. Because my main bone to pick with the prequels is people are like, whoa, Anakin's fall was so tragic. No, it wasn't. He was literally created by Palpatine and Plagueis, and then he became evil. It was a fall? No, it sounds to me like exactly what was going to happen.
They said at the beginning that he was too old to be the chosen one anyway.
Like, that part just never made any sense to me. So when, like, in this show, there's Immaculate Conception, and it's not Plagueis and Palpatine, I don't care. Like, it just doesn't bother me. I think the characters have been interesting enough. I think I would agree with Shane. Sometimes the acting isn't great, but it's not any worse than like what was happening in Ahsoka or Boba Fett. Definitely not Boba Fett. And I've just enjoyed it.
I mean, Ahsoka
leaned so heavily on having watched a cartoon.
I think I recently rewatched the middle episodes of Ahsoka, and I think the thing that I was caught up in and why I liked Ahsoka more than I probably should have was just because of the fan service that it paid off. Because it did its business. Rebels was very recent for me, and I liked a lot of those characters, and seeing them in live action was a very cool thing to see. But I know that Ahsoka, in hindsight, probably wasn't it was an okay show.
And I think
it was okay.
I think
Sudoku.
I just think I thought Ahsoka is better than this, just because this script is bad. I don't mind the characters so much. I just wish they were presented better. And I'm not saying every show has to be Andor. I'm just saying, going back to what you were saying about canon and the movies create this lore about Star Wars. Andor was separate, in my opinion, from anything I've ever seen about Star Wars, and I dug it the most because it was so different.
I think I
kind of like
that about this.
About it.
You don't feel
that it is different though.
Yeah, this is. I would be hard pressed to pick what Star Wars thing I think is most similar to the Acolyte. It feels different to me, and I think
it's hard.
I think for me, Star Wars is not in the same boat as Marvel has been recently. I think other than the last 4 episodes of Boba Fett, all the Star Wars stuff at worst has been okay. There's been some straight up, other than the last 4 episodes of Boba Fett, which were pretty bad. But there's a bunch of Marvel stuff that has come out that is just not good. Just straight up not good.
It's flat out not
and that's why I'm so I don't know, more engaged by the Star Wars stuff, because at least it's interesting, and I think they're doing there's not 600 million shows, and really, really
It's
like.
getting there though.
I really,
Come on.
really
What
like
did
the
you
fact.
think of it, though, Shane?
Of this last
Of this
episode,
episode 5 Acolyte. What did you think?
I thought it was at least interesting. It was interesting. I can't say it's the most. It was exciting, but them making a move and starting to kill off. I mean, they killed off a lot. How many people died in this
There
episode?
were, I think 8.
Well, there were-
9
I mean,
killed
dude,
eight
I mean,
Jedi.
There was 2 main
Spoiler.
guys. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, but
one of
I,
them in particular.
did I think it was much better than most of this season so far? I thought it was better. I didn't think she was better as either character. The sister,
Amanda Stenberg playing May.
I didn't think the sister.
Bless.
Bless you. The
Sorry.
plight between the sisters. 1 second they're like, "I love you," so and next minute, "I have to take you in," and no, you don't.
We have to go
And
back.
We have
And
to
we
go
have to go
back. No, we don't. And
That
leave
was
me
a little.
alone.
That was a little
That
aimless,
was
like the walking
ridiculous.
away and then being like,
Yeah.
"We gotta go back." I'm like,
Mm.
all right.
Other than that, I thought it was a solid episode for this show.
I think the action to me was top tier.
Yeah.
for lightsaber
It was
fights.
it was nice.
was
Everything, even some of the actual just fighting
Was nice.
between
The
Jackie
fist fight
and May,
Yeah.
and then Master Soul and Chimera was cool. I mean, I think the action sequences were pretty good. I like the fact that they revealed Chimera to be this Sith or Dark
Right.
Master, whatever.
I think so, I think
in
a
this.
writer has come out and said he is.
That he
in
is a
fact-
Sith.
He's a Sith. Yeah.
I think does he say
Because
that?
we have 3 episodes
Sith.
left.
Yeah, he says I am what you call a Sith.
Yeah, he did,
Right,
well, he
I
says
guess
I'm
he's
what you
called a
call a
Sith.
Sith, but people
guess I'm a Sith.
are precious about stuff, and they're like,
You know.
"Is he though?"
I'm a Sith.
By the way, Manny Jacinto, who plays Chimera, trained for 4 months for that fight sequence, the fight stuff that he was doing, the choreography.
He looked good.
You could tell. You could tell. He
looked good.
He was doing his business.
I think that the show, because we have the 3 episodes left, I'm hopeful. Because when I watched the first 2 episodes, I think we were talking about it, that it seems like there's a lot of potential for what they want to make out of this Star Wars. And I think that this could be the starting point of either them showing a new Sith Order, or I think that this Chimera character could be forming the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that speculation.
It's
yeah.
possible, but I don't know how they get to that point with 3 episodes left. There's going to be some type of cliffhanger, obviously, because I think they've already said there's going to be a second season, but I don't know what point they're going to be by the time they finish this in 3
Right,
more
like
episodes. We're going to be left with a big cliffhanger, or are they going to actually have some resolution? Is Chimera going to die? I mean, we don't know.
How do you guys feel about the theory that Tenebros or whatever, Tenebros, I think Pelagus' master's name is, if it was him,
Tenebris. Yeah.
Tenebros, if
Yeah.
it was him who came in and like killed Chimera at the end, or maybe he is Chimera. They could play with the fictional, the canon, not canon books, and like change. And also, I like when they do that, when they take some of the better ideas from the books and change it for the canon. But like, just people are so precious about it. Like, there's people who are like, "Oh, but there wasn't supposed to be a Sith for 1,000 years." It's like, I don't even love the prequels, and you missed the point of the prequels. The point of the prequels is that the Jedi are a bunch of idiots who didn't realize all this stuff was happening behind their back. A Sith existing 100 years before Phantom Menace doesn't invalidate the prequels.
They were trying to politicize themselves. They're
Exactly.
trying to align
We got
themselves with
control
the
of
Senate,
it.
and they don't know. And the Senate's like, no, you're our cops. Like, you stay here and you do what we say.
Yeah.
And that didn't work. Obviously, that's why the Jedi had to go into hiding. Decades later, and it became very messy for everyone involved. So I don't know. I mean, I think that there is a lot of potential still with this show. There's about a lot of uneven moments. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Sure,
to say?
I think that's absolutely fair.
And I think that I'm hopeful for what they're trying to do in these last 3 episodes. I just don't know if we're gonna get there. I think we could have there's gonna be some cliffhanger, and you're gonna be like, "That's it."
Yeah.
Show just ended.
So-
Like, what happened?
The last thing that I want to mention about it is I think the Chimera's armor, it's called Cortosis,
Yeah.
is really cool. And I see people like, well, doesn't it kind of beg the question, why doesn't everybody wear it? Where was this complaint during The Mandalorian? Beskar does the same exact thing. Why doesn't everyone have Beskar? Obviously, it's a rare element. Not everybody can get it.
And then they work in a different capacity, is that Beskar has to be forged into something to form some type of weapon. The cortosis thing is like an alloy, and it shorts out lightsabers. Like he was headbutting when he's fighting the multiple lightsabers before he creates his Sith kebab with the different people, and he headbutts the hilt. He shorts it out for a second with his helmet, and then that also could play a part in the fact that they can't read his mind.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Blocking.
Yeah. You want me to remove my
that
helmet?
Part is
so
kind of
cool.
cool.
I thought it was real cool.
Yeah.
But people just want to be mad. That's a perfect example of people wanting to be mad
will.
at anything. Like, dude, if you don't want to, like, if you're determined to not like the show, stop watching it.
They can't do that.
You don't have to watch
they
it.
can't do that.
You don't have to watch She-Hulk. Paul didn't.
I sure didn't.
He sure didn't, even though he's on a show about comics, but he didn't watch it. Jerk. Did I say all that out loud? I love you.
You know how many She-Hulk comics I've read in my entire life?
3 billion?
Probably 2.
0.
You've never read a She-Hulk?
No,
I've never read
so
a
that means
She-Hulk
you can't
comic.
watch the show.
The
So why
original
do you watch the
Deadpool.
show?
So why would I then go,
I'm interested.
there's a TV show coming out
I gotta watch this.
among a bunch of other TV shows that have been coming out that are horrible.
Okay, to be
You
fair,
missed
I
the
didn't do
point.
that either to prepare for She-Hulk. I wasn't like, I better go
Listen,
back and read my She-Hulk
He's
comics.
missing the point.
Okay, sorry.
We are on a show about comic books and
I understand
comic book
what you're saying.
shows.
I understand
He needs
what you're
to see
saying.
the show. Talk about it. You just can't go, I ain't watching that. I don't care how much you guys are. I don't care how much content you need.
You know what, Shane?
I ain't watching it.
I'll give it to you. You're right.
How dare you?
You're right.
You're on a show about comic books. You gotta watch it.
You're right.
Everybody goes, "Are we watching this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we have to. We have no choice."
You're right. I'm gonna write in Shane for president of the United States.
Are you gonna so you're gonna go back now this weekend and watch She-Hulk?
Are we talking about it next week?
Yeah, no.
No. No.
He's like, then nope.
Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna stop talking about the other 3 things we talk about every week.
No, I think we should run it
Let's
back.
go back and talk
Let's
about
run it back.
She-Hulk next week.
Quan
back
said, the
She-Hulk.
show sucks. If you say it sucks, you get yelled at for saying it sucks, but it's horrible. I think it's all right. I think it's all right.
2 pairs of Converse in every pot. That's my. I bet Quan will vote for me then.
I'm hopeful.
If I write in I'm not gonna. If I write in
Go ahead.
Shane, his last name, do you think how do they allocate that vote? Like, how do they know which? Because I'm sure there's multiple
like
Shane.
a write-in vote,
not
yeah.
gonna- Shane. And, no, but
You have to
like,
get at least 1%. I
yeah,
think.
but
Even
how would
me.
they know like which? I'm sure there's multiple Shane W's in the world. So how do they, or in the United States? So how do they know which? I bet you it's not a big problem.
I think you put my addresses.
I bet you. Okay.
Put my social security number.
There's an election in my high school, and I think I wrote
hey, buddy,
Bart
I'm gonna.
Simpson.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm gonna write you in
That'd
for
be
president.
nice.
Can I have your social
I
security?
give you a social security number.
Fill it out on this sheet of paper.
That's great.
It'd be great if I lose, but I only lose by like 3 million votes.
We want to reach out to you. Put down
You'd
your
almost win.
address.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the electoral college. We'll get you in.
Oh, please.
Something that we got some news as far as Superman is Superman film. James Gunn
Superman.
is about a year away from now, a little over a year away.
Jimmy Jack Superman.
It's being filmed in Cleveland,
That's his name.
and
Cleveland?
They showed some pics
Are you
from
serious?
the set. It's being shot right now in Cleveland. We were
What's
talking
in
about this.
Cleveland that's so great?
Paul,
Metropolis
tell
ain't in
him,
Cleveland?
tell him what's up.
We're gonna have the same conversation we did. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cleveland. If you didn't know, Shane, Cleveland.
They don't have to know that, Paul.
is where Siegel and Schuster created
Oh,
Superman.
that's right.
So that's
And-
why
wait.
I believe that's why he chose to film there.
That was 1938.
Was it 1930? Yeah.
Thanks, Shane.
Wow.
All right.
Did you Google that before you got here for that moment?
No, you had it. In
I
his,
like Jimmy Jack Superman.
Jimmy Jack Superman.
Did you see Frank Grillo? He posted a picture from one of the paparazzis on his Instagram.
One of the
It's
paparazzi.
like, bro, what are you doing? That's not an
Really?
official thing. Why are you posting why are you peddling the paparazzi stuff to the rest of the universe? Like,
He's a man of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing?
That picture, the pictures that are out though, but Frank said it. Frank said, enough with the pictures already. Like, quit putting out pictures of Superman.
I don't want to see anything.
Like, enough.
I want to. You show me the trailer if you want, but I don't want to see all this stuff.
But his cape looked absolutely.
He
looks
looks
great. It looks
incredible.
great.
He looks phenomenal.
His cape
I'm not
looks
saying
so
it doesn't look good.
cool.
I just don't want to see stuff. I want to wait. I want to see it later.
That steamed cape. That he, like,
That's
you see the
freshly
back of him,
steamed
that
cape.
freshly steamed cape. cape
The
is
picture
steamed,
with him
bro.
with his back turned.
That's what I'm talking
That
about. That
is incredible.
Yeah,
like
that's
that
good.
is
That was dope.
super dope.
Tessa, do you see those pictures? Are you in
Out
there?
of context,
that
that's a
cape
dangerous
is
question.
steamed.
No,
baby.
the pictures of the steamed cape.
That cape is dope. That steam. It
Yeah.
looks like curtains. That cape. It's
Wow.
all
And the
flowy.
yellow S on the back.
Dope,
Bro, it looks good.
dope.
And I don't know as far as like live action. I don't know if there's ever been a Superman suit where I was like, "Oh, that looks horrible." I think they've all looked
They've all
pretty,
looked pretty
good.
good. Yeah.
I think this one might be
Cavill's a-
I think this one might be my favorite. The only problem I have with Cavill's is there's not enough contrast on the suit. It's just blue,
Yeah.
red, and a little bit of yellow on the thing, and
Yeah.
there's just not enough contrast.
there's no
But even
yellow
then,
on-
I
no
like
yellow
his
S.
suit. It's fine.
But Christopher Reeve's suit, that one's awesome too.
Yeah, that one is like the
That one's
quintessential
so
kind of.
awesome.
I think
He looked
Ralph's
awesome.
suit is good too. Brandon Routh. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh, the only and again, I like that suit a lot. The only problem is it's a weird. Like, have you ever it's a weird color? It's like not blue, and the red on it is like maroon.
Mm.
If you look at it like
Really?
in proper lighting, it's like a off blue and off red. If they would have changed like the color saturation on that suit, I would probably like it more than the one that's because the only thing I think I don't like about this one is they're going a little too crazy with the lines. Like I don't know if it needed all the lines, but that didn't really bother me.
Yeah, you're right. It's an odd.
So, and not so much the blue, and that's like a set or obviously like a picture from Variety or something. But it's like got like a weird like the maroon tinge to the red,
I think that's the Kingdom
and that's
Come.
from the CW. That
the
one
Kingdom
is
Come
awesome.
yeah, that looks all right there.
But
Tessa's saying I've never been more excited
that
for a
one's
movie.
what
To
I'm
be
looking
honest,
at. Where
I'm
it looks like it's painted, like it's airbrushed.
Tessa, we're
the
excited
blue.
as well.
I'm right there with her. I think this is the most excited I've ever been for a movie. And
Tessa,
I'm not.
I think that's time for your Vegas trip
Yeah.
next year to come watch it with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, next July.
I
Put it
didn't
on your
like.
calendar.
I didn't like Ralph's belt though. I didn't like the S as his belt buckle.
Mm.
That's the only. He had the S on his chest and the S as a belt buckle as well.
Yeah, see,
It's the
he's-
same
he's-
S too. I don't like that S as a belt buckle.
He's maroon and blue. He's
Yeah.
not red and blue.
I don't like that.
I don't. That's not my favorite thing in the world.
But doesn't that look like it's airbrushed or something? Like it's. It
Little
doesn't
bit,
look like
little
it's,
bit.
a little bit, but it's a dope suit nonetheless. Like that's dope.
Yeah.
If that was exactly the one we got in this next movie, I'd be fine.
Right.
But he's definitely maroon blue.
Yeah.
and yellow.
I'm interested in seeing, or
That's
we were
rude.
talking with
That's not
Ryan a
rude.
little bit about it last week with Fire Guy Ryan on the show. We are talking about with him about all the different casting announcements and stuff, and that they could have done like a Office parody with all the different members of the Daily Planet that they've got announced, like every cast member that they have for like, oh, and this guy, remember he appeared in a random Action Comics. Whatever. Like this guy works for the Daily Planet too. They have like the cast listing for all these actors. You're like, oh, that guy's what? Like,
Really?
There's been so many casting announcements for this movie. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I think it's ambitious, but I think that James Gunn is the guy to be able to pull it off.
I think they're doing a good job of marketing it.
I'm excited for it. I'm really looking forward to this movie. I think it's going to be great. I think the fact that we're finally going to get a new Superman movie in the same month-ish that we're going to get Fantastic Four
Mhm.
is pretty ridiculous. It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like, I love the first two Christopher Reeves movies,
Stand by.
but I like Superman Returns and I like Man of Steel, but I feel like for like my generation, I don't have like a Superman movie that is like The Dark Knight for Batman. Not that it's
Yeah,
going to be
you don't-
similar in tone, but in quality. And
Yeah, you don't have that.
if this,
yet. This might be it.
If this movie can be similar to that quality, and because I'm biased for Superman, it's gonna be one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yep.
And there's not been many movies that have come out that I could say that about. Like,
True.
There's a bunch of stuff that comes out that I like Infinity War. Like Infinity War was the last movie I was probably like out of my mind excited for.
Like proud of.
But I'm not like super partial towards Marvel Comics. I was excited for obvious reasons, and like, I mean, how often do I bring in a Marvel comic?
Almost never. You are a DC. You're a huge DC fan.
So this movie has the potential to just be like my favorite thing. It would be like a little kid in a candy shop watching that movie, or it could stink, and that would really be sad.
It's not gonna stink.
Yeah,
I think
it'll
I think
be
it's
okay.
impossible. Paul, I think it's impossible for it to stink on ice. I think it'll be if it's even if we don't like it as much as we were hoping for. I think it'll at least be passable. Like, if nothing else, I think it's just I haven't seen Gunn put out have a truly bad story.
No,
he
yeah.
doesn't. I don't think he's truly.
Yeah,
I need a sip.
He definitely hasn't stumbled. I think.
You
Have you
like
ever seen? Have you ever seen Super? I don't know if he directed Super. I know he wrote Super. Super is like Kick-Ass if it was like meaner.
Oh yeah.
It's Rainn Wilson, I think. Yeah, that's a good movie. I think you would like Super. Go watch Super. It's good.
All right.
It's good. It's like intense and silly, but it's good. Anyways,
we're getting this guy situated. Brother Marcus is joining us at the table. We're discussing the I guess set photos. I guess you'd say some of the first set photos being leaked from the Superman movie that's going to be coming out next year.
What's wrong?
What is the matter, Giggles?
Oh God, I saw that Clark Kent one with the little front fro he has going. I was like, oh God,
fro?
that's awful.
No. Has this come out?
No. Make him look a little more.
He had a fro?
He had like a little mop head thing
he's
going.
got like a little perm going on.
Yeah.
We got a perm.
He looks like a dork. He looks like a dork.
He does. He does look like a 16-year-old going to get his driver's license photo.
Yeah.
You know?
Which I think is kind of the point, but
I'm like, no, he was always handsome, even as Clark. He was still handsome. He was just awkward socially. He was always still handsome and had good hair.
But not this last. Where is that picture at?
Oh
you
man,
didn't see it?
I did not. Is it?
But other than you not liking Clark's perm, what did you think of the other pictures?
Well, that's big for Marcus.
That's the only one I saw. That one and the one, of course, where he's just putting on his shoes. I didn't see any others. What others were there?
There were set photos of him in the suit, and I think
Tessa says hi,
great.
Marcus.
Yeah.
In the chat, Tessa says hi, Marcus.
Hi, Tessa.
Aw.
Go ahead and show it. Go.
Yeah.
Show up. Shane can't work Google.
Perm.
Superman
Just perm.
Just put
Curl.
set
Jerry
photos or
Curl.
Just
something.
type in James Gunn Clark
What's
Kent.
the
Right.
DC
James
thing that
Gunn,
we
Clark
get as far
Kent.
as James Gunn's the Creature Commandos, the animated series? We'll get that at the end of the year.
Lanterns green lighted?
Yep, they greenlit. They greenlit Green Lanterns.
Oh.
Hey.
Anyways,
And then we're gonna have they're working on Peacemaker season 2.
Right.
So
Very cool.
and I'm excited for Lanterns because it's Lindelof and Tom King are like heading the writing team, and then
The other guy that he's the showrunner for Ozark.
yeah, it escapes me what his name was, but he's going to be
Chris
the
Mundy.
showrunner. Yeah, so that Lantern show has a lot to, and based on some of the announcement stuff, it looks like it's going to be Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan.
Nice.
Which
And then there was
Sounds good to
also well, this might be old news, but Andor season 2, the guy who played
Oh,
director Krennic.
Krennic is going to be back.
Oh,
He's gonna be back.
Mendelsohn? Yeah.
Mendelsohn.
Mhm.
Yeah, he also played the Skrull in Captain Marvel.
Yes, he did.
Was that?
He's-
I think that was before Rogue One, was it? Or was it?
Marvel's was or the Captain Marvel
think
was that
so.
before Rogue One? I don't think so.
I don't
No,
think
it
so.
was not.
Okay.
That was-
Well,
I think
yeah.
I
He
think
went from,
Captain
like,
years
Marvel
ago.
was like 2018, and I think Rogue One was 2015, 2016,
Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so he did Rogue One, and then he did.
2017 maybe.
Rogue
Did
One
Captain
was
Marvel.
in between Force Awakens and Last Jedi.
So it was 2015.
Solo
then.
was in between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Director Krennic. Director,
that'll be
James
cool.
or the James Old Jones
and
voice.
and that I mean we're kind of shifting gears, but that show is going to end like in Rogue One when Andor kills that like information officer guy and he
Yeah.
runs off. Apparently, the second season of Andor is going to end right around that moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
When does that start? Like when is
they're
the
starting. They're
projection for
filming
that?
right now.
They're
I think.
filming it right now.
Boy.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to
gonna be
do some
great.
review. Yeah.
But when do you guys think we get the first official trailer for Superman? Sometime in December?
Think that soon? I don't know about that.
It comes out in June of next year.
Oh,
Then
oh,
Wolverine.
I think DC hasn't been officially announced, but I mean they're probably going to be at Hall H.
And I'm sure
in July they're going to have some type of sizzle reel for something.
And I'm
They
sure
haven't
the
started
big
shooting
trailer
Batman
will
2
be.
yet.
If they don't do anything during that time, then it'll probably be, I don't know, around holiday season.
Yeah.
I'm thinking holidays.
And then the final trailer,
What's
or the final big trailer, maybe around the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl? Maybe
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Oh,
I guess
yeah,
that's
that would be
4 months
perfect.
kind of, but in between those. But
Yeah, that would be perfect for something like that big.
When the
That would be
Chiefs
good.
and
That would be
Taylor
really
are going
cool.
for a 3-peat.
when the
We're
Jets
gonna
play
lose
the Niners.
Here we
Oh,
go.
wow.
Here we go.
When the Oilers
Here we go.
play the
Schmurs.
Marcus.
the Schmurs,
Let's play the Schmurs.
The Schmurs play the
Metropolis.
Schmurs.
the Omaha Schmurs.
Guys, earlier this week
That was a great joke.
we
actually.
got our first look at the trailer for Batman Caped Crusader. It's an animated series going to be dropping August 1st on Amazon Prime. Every episode of the show are going to drop same day, August 1st.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Prime is going Netflix and just dropping the whole
Okay.
season in one shot.
Okay.
But that's going to be out on August 1st, and we're going to check out the trailers, I
They
believe.
need to do something because my Prime is
Asking
getting
the
too
question on
expensive.
everyone's mind these days. What do
far, so
you
good.
think about the Batman?
I'm frightened. This whole city's gone to hell in a handbasket.
I like the animation.
Yeah.
He's breaking the law, ain't he? So they ought to catch that freak and lock him up.
I won't say it's gonna be easy, but catching criminals is what we do. So this one dresses up like Dracula, so what? We're gonna take him down. What do we know about this Batman?
He's been beating the tar out of muggers and dope peddlers out there the last few weeks.
He's mostly been seen at night driving that hot rod of his 100 miles an hour.
And now he's even
thrust.
attacking our brave police.
Nice car.
This man is not a hero,
Thrust.
he's a criminal. And his time in Gotham is up.
How dare you?
Mischief afoot, sir?
3 explosions in 2 weeks.
I like the voice
That was
actor.
dope.
The voice
Peculiar.
actor is good.
There's something more going on here.
Kind of sounds like Pattinson a little bit.
A bug in the eye.
That's always good.
Knows too
Ooh,
much.
J.J. Abrams.
He's an itch that needs to get scratched.
Abrams got it. Man.
Abrams.
Don't run this court anymore.
Who didn't?
The jester does.
Oh,
Bang!
oh, onomatopoeia.
An all-out gang war on the streets of Gotham.
Game. I'm so game.
This looks cool.
Yeah.
This is a losing battle. 100 other monsters will show up to replace anyone you take down.
Who's that?
Probably.
The voice acting is so good.
But now they'll all know I'm coming for them.
Frank, come on now.
Sexy.
That's great.
I like it.
That looks pretty freaking
Wow.
cool.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was pretty good.
That looks pretty freaking cool.
Like an updated kind of Batman Adventures, Bruce
Yeah.
Timm
Yeah.
type of
And
thing.
he's involved. It looks like he was involved in it in some capacity. It
Nice.
says right in there in the credits.
Yeah, I'm game.
Yeah, that's super dope. We got Barbara Gordon's in the trailer. I saw somebody said something. They posted the picture of Barbara from the show, and like the worst person you know is writing something right now because. But I'm so excited for the show. It looks really cool.
That does look cool. Was that Montoya? Was that the one who's saying, "Hey, there's this guy walking around"? You know,
Dracula.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dracula.
was that Montoya? It might
could have
be.
been. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You got a Dracula-looking dude walking around. We'll take care of him.
Harley
Are
Quinn. in
you
it?
the voice actor?
Yeah.
Was that like Harley Quinn in a different outfit? It looked like Harley Quinn in a different
curly hair.
Shane, you thought it looked good?
Nah, I ain't watching this.
All right, you got it.
Like Paul, and it's like I don't want to see it, so I don't
I'm
care
putting
what.
Shane down for no.
Shane's just upset he doesn't get to watch the presidential debates right now.
Oh, I wish I would. Listen, if I'd have known we didn't have to watch She-Hulk, I never would have done it. That's all I'm saying.
Shane, do you want to cop or drop us?
Oh yeah. All right, I think it's time to do a little something. Everybody got their books out?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. It's time once again for Copper Thank you, Quan. My homie. some reason we're always right together on that. All right, who wants to go first? I say Paul.
Oh, okay.
Paul, this better be good.
Well,
this is where we judge books. Well, at least I judge books.
So
Paul's better be good.
The first book I'm going to talk about is the 3rd issue of Helen of Windhorn.
Nope,
which
next.
Is
no, I'm just kidding. Oh, thank you. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Helen of Windhorn. I'm sorry.
That's all I wanted was an apology.
Windhorn.
So this is Tom King, Bill Quest-Everly, Matthias Lopez, and Clayton Cowles on the letters. I hate you guys. But so this is kind of, we're finally getting into the fantastical part of the adventure. Oh. We still have the we still have the guy who's like has done a bunch of research on what happened with Helen of Windhorn and kind of collecting their books to kind of piece it all together. That's how it's like posited the whole story. That's where we're seeing the view from. And then this also has kind of another layer. Helen at the end of last issue left with her grandfather to bring this like strange, almost mythical creature back home or something. Lilith, the caretaker, she stays at the manor. This starts with Helen coming back, and she recounts this tale to Lilith, where they go to this mythical land where they got to give this old like crooked lady a tooth, and that old crooked lady might be more relevant than you think. They travel to this mystical land, and they go to this goddess who they return her animal to her, and you find out that's Helen's grandmother. And she's recounting this tale to Lilith as she comes back, and Lilith is like, what is happening? And then as usual, the issue ends with kind of the researcher talking to somebody about the stuff in the books that he's been studying to learn about these. And he's like, we want to write a book about this. He's talking to somebody who's trying to sell it to. He's like, we want to write a true story about this. This is fantasy. Like, this is not real. What you're telling us about. These people are crazy, and this book doesn't make any, or these like journals you're reading and selling to us don't make any sense. But this, and you got to see some like really cool mystical ideas from Tom King and the land that he's building. And I'm sure we'll go back in real time. And it's only getting better, and I really, really enjoy this. And it's a quick read. A lot of times, I love Tom King, but a lot of times his books take a minute to get through. Right. This is pretty quick, and I enjoy that. So that's my first book, Helen of Windhorn. And then my second book is Absolute Power Ground Zero. This is Mark Waid, Josh Williamson, Chip Zdarsky, Melnikov, who did the art. Melnikov did the art in between Campbell and Sandoval and somebody else on Superman. Melnikov did the chained arc. That's what he did on Superman. And there's a bunch of other artists on this, and I think 1 or 2 other writers. But this is laying the groundwork. This is kind of like the issue 0 for the event Absolute Power that's going to be happening, which is going to be written by Mark Waid with art from Dan Mora. This is like Shane was saying about the Superman movie. Like, there's no way it's gonna be terrible. It can't be. That's this event. Like this event might be okay, but it's definitely not going to be terrible. It's Mark Waid and Dan Mora. Something about it will be spectacular. And this is kind of spinning out of Zdarsky's Batman and the failsafe stuff, and Williamson's Superman House of Brainiac, which just wrapped up.
5 and 6 both came out.
Yes, 5 and 6 came out.
Parts 5 and 6.
And so this is taking elements from Zdarsky's Batman, which is why he's on Ground Zero, and also Williamson's House of Brainiac, which is, again, why Williamson's on here. And they're bringing them together. The kind of 2 main villains from those 2 arcs are going to be kind of Amanda Waller's pawns for this Absolute Power event that's going to happen. I'm really excited for it. Most of the tie-ins I already have. Like, I already pick up those books, so I'm not going to have to get a bunch of extra stuff. The tie-ins aren't crazy. There isn't like a million tie-ins. It's basically Absolute Power, Batman, Superman, I think World's Finest, and I think there's a couple of odd issues
here.
There's
a task force.
Yeah, something like that.
More like a crossover than like a little mini event.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be, it reminds me of The King in Black with less tie-ins.
Gotcha.
Going to be like a 5-6 issue run with less tie-ins.
I'm in.
I'm really excited for it. And I think Wade has mentioned he's going to be writing a character. Like after this, he's going to start a book on a character that he's been wanting to write for a really, really long time.
Mark Wade is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a headline about that.
Really? Okay.
Who knows? It could be Nightwing because that's going to be vacant here pretty soon.
Right.
Could be.
He left Shazam.
He did leave Shazam. I noticed that. I'm going to take that off my pull box actually.
Careful. It's still good.
I gotta be.
Josie Campbell's. She's doing a good job.
Yeah, but I gotta be particular with what I read. Otherwise, I'll end up having $70 worth of books every week, and I can't.
Oh, you go right for the throat.
But no. So Helen of Windhorn continues to be really cool, and I kind of love where I'm gonna go back just a second. I love where this came out because The Hunger in the Dusk ended, and that was kind of filling my fantasy desire for comics. And then Helen of Windhorn came out, and it's filling that now. And then Absolute Power, I've been really excited for this for quite some time. And those are my.
I got a fantasy going on.
Those are my books this week.
Windhorn
Windhorn.
You're making it windhorny. While Shane's getting down on the fantasy.
What? Marcus, would you like to go next, bruh?
Sure.
I'll be delving into this.
You'll be Helening and Windhorning?
Yeah, I'll be Helening and Windhorning. Please.
Okay, so my first book today, hot off the press, a new DC Black Label series. It is Zatanna, Bring Down the House. And this is
cool.
This is a writer that we've all should be all familiar with if you've read any of the Detective Comics stuff.
Yep.
She did a great job with Fear State, her contribution on Detective Comics just before Ram V took over. Although by the time Detective Comics, that Fear State event was wrapping up, I think we all were getting kind of fatigued with it because it was literally like a weekly book, and it was just so much going on. But I did read her stuff, and it was amazing. It was good. She was really solid with that run. So she's taken on Bring Down the House, Zatanna featured book, Black Label, with art by Javier Rodriguez. And honestly, that Caped Crusader trailer that we just watched, a lot of the art, if you look inside the art, it looks kind of like that.
Oh,
like
very
that,
cool.
I flipped through. I got it too as well. I flipped through the book last night a little bit. I haven't read it yet, but the panel layout is really cool.
Yeah, and it looks a lot like the Bruce Timm-esque style, like it could be a cartoon. It had that type of that color scheme, the contrast, like it could be an animated series easily. So it features Zatanna, and we get a little bit almost like a kind of like I don't know if it's an alternate take on her childhood, but we have a lot of flashbacks where she's trying to be like as a kid, she's trying to be like a magician as a youngster, and the kids are gathered around her watching her do magic tricks, and she's kind of being made fun of because she's not particularly good at it. And then fast forward to her as an adult, she's working this free show in Vegas. So she almost is portrayed kind of like a loser. But then there's this mysterious character who keeps coming to her free show. Like she keeps noticing the same woman in shades coming in the audience, coming to her shows every time she performs. And it got to a point where she finally just was like, I got to bring attention to this. So she goes down to the audience. It's like, hey, we're going to have some audience participation with this time. And she, kind of draws attention to this person. And all kinds of weird mystical stuff starts happening. And then, push comes to shove. She's like, I know what you did. She's like, what are you talking about? I know what you did. Because there's some... it looks like there was some conflict between her dad, who's portrayed as a magician, who she wanted to have him, train her to how to do magic tricks and stuff as a kid.
Her dad was in something else recently. I don't remember what it was.
And I can't remember. But yeah, and so there's some conflict there, and then you find out, and then it kind of ends with a cliffhanger, with may or may not have killed her father by accident, or we don't know yet. So it's kind of like it's very interesting.
It looks great. We just flipped through it. It looks absolutely
Javier
terrific.
Rodriguez, dope art. It reminds me a little bit of Lou Pacino, who's doing the art on Shazam now and did the art on Teen Titans World's Finest. So if you like that, you'll like this.
It was a nice read. It was a fast read too, because usually DC Black Label it tends to be a little more denser because they're usually shorter runs. But
it didn't feel like that for you.
It didn't feel like that at all. And then finally, this is kind of a 1-2 punch here. If you guys were in the Las Vegas area and you managed to go down to Alternate Reality Comics this weekend, we had the writer Amy Chu down there doing a signing. And she was signing copies and selling advanced copies of her second volume of Carmilla, which is Amy Chu and So Lee art. Amazing.
It looks expensive.
Oh, not bad.
It's not.
They're $20 a piece. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Dark Horse. Also Berger. It's also the imprint is Berger Books. Karen Berger. For those who are DC Vertigo fans, you should know that name. Yeah. She is kind of the reason that DC Vertigo was as awesome as it was. She's the one who brought on the likes of Garth Ennis and all those guys who did all the DC Vertigo books. Yeah, she worked for that. And then when the label dissolved, the imprint dissolved, she went over to Dark Horse and started working with Dark Horse. And now she started her own imprint called Berger Books.
Because Vertigo became Black Label, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And Amy Chu, she was in town. So shout out to Alternate Reality for having her. That was awesome. And she was just she happened to be passing by on her way to California for some networking ventures that she has out there. And she stopped and did a signing. She had like an 8-hour layover. She was like, I'll just do a signing, sign some books. And the premise behind Carmilla is, for those that don't know, it's inspired by the premise of Carmilla, who is an Asian vampire that actually predates Dracula by about 2 decades. So it's a vampire based in Chinese folklore that predates Bram Stoker's Dracula that we know of. And she does a clever story of bringing that with a more modern twist on this, and it starts off the volume 1 starts off as you're following a social worker who is in a relationship, and she's in the major city working with missing runaway youth, basically at-risk youth. And she starts realizing, I believe it's New York, she starts realizing that there's a spate of murders that are happening. Like a lot of young girls are coming up missing, and they're turning out to be murdered. And she's starting to be concerned because a lot of them are coming through the shelter that she works for. And so she starts doing a little bit of investigating, and it leads her to this club called Carmilla. And she starts meeting all these weird characters there. Particularly, the particular woman that captures her fancy is a woman by the name of Violet. And her name's Athena, the main character that we're following, social worker. And they get into a weird kind of like relationship. And long story short, it turns into this big mystery of who this Violet character is. And it turns out it might actually be Carmilla kind of reincarnated and living with us amongst, present time. The first volume, there's a lot of setup, character development and things like that, understandably so, because you want to set the premise.
This art is dope.
Yeah, the art is amazing. The art reminds me, honestly, reading this, it reminds me of The Good Asian, because nice. There's a lot of history in this. You get a lot of cultural connections and connotations in here. So you feel like when you're reading it, you feel like not only are you reading a comic, but you're also learning something about Chinese culture as well. Beautiful. And there's some very cleverly done head nods towards other folklore that deal with vampires. As far as for example, we're dealing with the Chinese folklore interpretation, but Indian, Japanese, all the European stuff that we know of. that's all kind of incorporated into this wonderful fiction story. And then volume 2 is kind of more or less, it's a faster paced sort of thing. It picks up and where this one leaves off, and you got a lot less, because all the background and all the character setup is in volume 1. Volume 2 picks up, and you come to find out that Athena is actually from a long line of vampire hunters, and there might be some intermixture between the vampires that they're hunting and the vampire hunters themselves. So it's very, very captivating. It felt very educational, like I said, with the Good Asian, where you get some historical context. It feels like as you're reading it, so you feel like you're getting educated at the same time. And then, if you were lucky enough to be at the signing this past weekend, Volume 2 is not even out yet. This is an advanced copy.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, if you got a chance to meet her, you were able to get it signed.
Wow.
I got both of these signed. She also signed my Daredevil 25th anniversary issue by Marvel. She did a backup story in there, as well as a backup story for the current Doctor Strange run, issue 3 with Jet McKay. So amazing. She already said Karen Berger has already greenlit the 3rd volume of this, so she'll be working on that. So just be on the lookout for this. And I believe it's July 9th is when Volume 2 comes out officially.
Yeah.
So if you did come to
You
the
got that
signing,
advanced copy.
I got the advanced copy. Yeah. So if you were lucky enough to meet her at the signing, you were able to purchase an advanced copy.
That's great.
Yeah. So
thank you, Alternate Reality Comics, per usual.
And congrats to Amy. She's doing a great. Yeah, these were great. I read them both, and I couldn't put them down. They were fascinating.
Real quick, we're going to talk about Blood Hunt. As I'm talking about this every week, it seems.
Every week you got Blood Hunt on the
Blood
docket.
Hunt for a few more weeks. Before
Tired of it.
It ends. I'm getting, all 53 parts. Paul was mentioning that.
Tired of it.
Absolute Power isn't going to have that much. Here's just a basic request, I guess I would make of Marvel Comics. Is just why not just make them like chapters? Didn't we do that for the Ten of Swords, where they had like chapters listed for the installments between the issues?
So. Yeah.
They could just do that with this, but it would look weird for them to say chapter 53, I guess, for Blood Hunt. The Blood Hunt story, we actually got some backstory to what exactly happened with Blade when he was basically his body was taken over by the first known vampire in the history of Marvel. Character's name is Varney. He attempted once. He was fighting with in the spirit realm. He was fighting with Doctor Strange and with Blade. He attempted once to take over Blade's body. He wasn't able to.
Right.
The second time he was able to inhabit his body. And it's kind of cool that it comes full circle. Is that like they have Dracula present in the Marvel universe, and Dracula is like fighting alongside the Avengers and stuff like that. It's kind of cool.
It's kind of nuts.
Jed McKay does a lot of things really well, and he does a lot of things great. And his Moon Knight stuff is always great. He makes me care about a character known as 8-Ball, who's there on the cover. And 8-Ball is cracking people's heads with a pool cue, and it's fantastic.
Really?
I didn't think I would care so much, or
Really?
actually go away from reading a Marvel tie-in for Blood Hunt saying I want more 8-Ball. But this was a great issue.
Wow.
All of the Blood Hunt
thought?
stuff has been good. I've been talking about I've been talking to our friend Brendan pretty regularly about this whole tie, and this is going to make a great collected edition in the omnibus form. Once they get it all together, probably sometime next year, Marcus.
Right.
But once it's out, I'm really looking forward to it. And Blood Hunt has been great. Jed McKay's done a great job. I guess they just recently announced as well that he's going to be starting up another Moon Knight ongoing series down the line, and that we may be getting some announcements soon as far as a new writer for ASM. There might be a new writer on Amazing Spider-Man, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Him and I were kind of going back and forth with that. It's like we always default to be picking up Spider-Man. But yeah, that's what I got. Blood Hunt is almost over. I'm only be talking about Blood Hunt for probably 2 or 3 more weeks, and then it's done.
Frank, I'm just looking at some of the panels with 8-Ball in it, and
it's great.
Now whenever I see the word bubbles, I'm hearing your voice as he talks.
He's great.
I got him.
Yeah, he's
there's laughing that part.
Yeah, he's been in the ongoing series for a little bit now.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been kind of like one of those guys that Mark Spector kind of took under his wing and turned him into kind of a good guy, you know. So yeah, very cool.
8 Ball.
Okay,
of all people,
Shane,
right? Of
go
all
ahead.
characters.
The winner this week, I'm going to say there's a tie here between Marcus's Carmilla, just because the story is so cool of how he got this one early, the second Schmur early. And then
second Schmur.
Helen of Windhorn, I just flipped through that, and I just
That's
love
fantastic.
the art is just absolutely captivating.
That's been a fantastic. That's a
It
fantastic
really is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Shane, also, I was going to mention, just so everybody knows, Paul and Marcus and I text each other about what books we're going to go over, and they just assume that Frank's going to be talking about Blood Hunt. So it's basically down to the two of them. They have to decide what they're going to talk about because they know I'm going to do a tie-in or a part of the main Blood Hunt story. And
that's about
pretty
to be
much
me with Absolute Power.
Yeah.
And I looked into it. There's going to be, I think, around 25 total issues for the whole event.
Yeah.
There's going to be 4 Absolute Power. There's going to be, I think, 6 Task Force, but it's there's the Absolute Power, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern, and then the Task Force book. So I think there's 8 books. There's like going to be 8 books total that you 8 or 9 books total that you could have on your poll for it. I have most of those. The only one I won't be adding is I'm probably not going to add Green Lantern just because I'm not up to date on it, and it feels weird reading something that I've heard is so good and not being up to date on it. But otherwise, I have.
You can pick up
everything.
the trade.
Yeah.
If I do, I'll do that. Yeah.
It's fine.
So yeah, that's gonna be me.
I've heard Jeremy Adams on Green Lantern's been really good.
Yeah,
it is. It is. It's been solid, and we're kind of all feeling you on that, Paul. Because I mean, Shazam. I had to kind of catch up on Shazam. I binged, read like 6 issues over the past weekend just because it just got buried.
Did you read Absolute Power yet? Did you read that?
No, I haven't read that. I have it, but I haven't
did you
read
feel
it yet.
like you were missing something when you started into it? Or are you okay with the starting point?
Buried.
It's
like
based.
so many
I should have
books.
mentioned this. It's based in on again House of Brainiac and the Batman stuff. Also, World's Finest isn't a tie-in. I know Tessa said something about that. She was like, "It is." I was like, "No, it's not." So I was wrong about that. I think that might go on hiatus while he's doing this, but
maybe.
But there is also Suicide Squad Dream Team or something that came out. Like I didn't read
just
that
prior to it.
I didn't read that. But this does a good job of catching you up in what happened.
There was an online. The reason why I asked because there's a guy who did online reviews. Shout out to Robbie, Pop Culture Philosophers. He was talking about that. He goes, "Well, there's like 5 things I was supposed to read before this. I guess I didn't read any of them. I still liked it, that kind of thing." Like,
no, this catches you
cool.
up. And if you're up to date, if you're reading Superman and Batman, the only thing you really missed is the Dream Team thing, and that there's the very first this isn't like 3 kind of sections. This little Ground Zero thing, the first one catches you up
because they have those last 2 parts of the Brainiac whatever thing. They have that right before that. You have to read those before it or not really?
No, not really.
Okay.
How about Titans? Because I know Waller's been kind of featured heavily in some of those issues that have been coming out later.
You don't have to have read Titans.
Okay, cool.
I can just walk into it. Like I can just read it.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can just read it to Shane
Please.
by a campfire.
Come over, please.
Because it was going back to Shazam real quick. Because Mark Waid he left the book at issue 9. Josie Campbell took over at issue 10, and we were just kind of talking, at the barber shop. That's what I call the comic book shop now because we all gossip and talk comics, And that was one of a lot of the customers that were in there that were kind of feeling the same way, like, "Oh, Mark Waid left the book. I don't know. Do I continue?" And then when I found out, Josie Campbell, she's the one who wrote the new Champion of Shazam. So she wrote the Mary Marvel miniseries that was out not too long ago. So that was solid. That was a lot of fun. And she's also, I think she's tied in with the My Adventures with Superman show.
Okay, I'm actually thinking about watching that.
Yeah, it's actually good.
I
haven't watched any of the new season because it just snuck up on me, so I'm gonna have to watch that.
There's a million shows out right now.
Right. So the fact that she's tied in with that's kind of cool
Acolyte.
too.
Alkalite
or the Acolyte.
Alkaline.
Check out Alkaline.
So
we didn't talk about the boys at all.
No, we didn't. We were going to.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, the boys sounds more. Yeah,
it's awesome. All right, go ahead.
So
I'm sorry, I just realized that. They talk about the poison.
So I would tell everyone, you know, Shazam has been a great run so far. The Josie Campbell stuff has been very good as well. So just, you know, hang on. Don't.
It's one or two issues into her thing.
So far, it's 3 because we're.
It's 3. Okay.
Yeah, we're at issue 12 as of last week. And she started at 10.
Yeah. It's hard for me to, because the only reason I got the book was because it was Wade and Mora, and now neither of them are there. So it's like, even if it's
the art hasn't suffered. It's still good. Mora did.
It's Lupacino, right now?
I think. Yeah, I can't remember, but I know Mora did the cover for issue 10.
Mm-hmm. I think he still covers him.
So he might. I don't know. He might.
Tessa said, covers. Someone clip Paul saying he's wrong, so I can make a reel of it on.
No, thank you, Tessa. My gosh. Thank you.
It happens.
So anyway,
but you never admit it. It does happen. You rarely admit it.
Yeah, if you drop Shazam, I understand. I get it.
Tessa.
But you know, just give it a chance. If you like the Mary Marvel new
I'll
champion
give it a
of
chance.
Shazam, then yeah, you'll like that for sure.
He ain't gonna give it a chance
because the talking.
I mean, I have 3 of them.
Give it a chance.
I own them already. Why would I not read them?
Because you're just gonna put them away somewhere and not read them. That's why. Same thing that you did with She-Hulk.
We're gonna keep going. We're not gonna do the other thing. I think we're just gonna keep it going, and we'll just do the 90 minutes live total.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Wanted to mention real quick, we're doing a little bit of housekeeping with regards to next week. Next Thursday is the 4th of July, so we will not be here live in studio on the 4th. Oh. Instead, you're gonna get Paul's beautiful face one day early, July 3rd at 5:30 Pacific. You're going to be
just kidding.
Shane's going to be drinking early at 5:30 Pacific on July 3rd. 4th of July Eve next week, Wednesday.
Okay.
July 3rd, 5:30.
Will we be wearing red, white, and blue as we come in here?
Yeah.
Are you here? 5:30?
I'll be here at 5:30.
Okay.
Frank's going to wear a Biden mask, and I'm going to wear a Trump mask.
Well, and then Marcus will dress up like Captain America.
Yeah.
And I will dress up
and then Shane will
like
come in as Robert Kennedy
Red
Jr.
Skull.
I would rather be Red Skull. I'll do that.
Okay.
How about
maybe next week, 5:30 on Wednesday. Now, this is important. Okay. Shane, are you done?
I'm sorry, Marcus.
Next Wednesday, 5:30, July 3rd.
All right, next week.
Spend some time with us next Wednesday, July 3rd.
Next Wednesday,
live.
July 3rd.
After that, the following week, July 11th. This is very important.
Oh.
Live on the line, we're going to have a very special guest. Mr.
Superman?
Mark Russell will be joining us live on the line. We're going to be talking about...
Very nice.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what we won't be talking about.
He's written everything at this point.
Pretty much everything
Space
he's written.
Age, Dark Age.
Fantastic Four life story, the Flintstones.
Not all robots.
Not all robots.
Dead Box.
He's going to be writing the new X Factor series.
Yes. Flintstones.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Second Coming.
Dude.
Billionaire Island.
Oh, wow.
Wonder Twins.
The one shot that Fire Guy Ryan brought up last week, Death Ratioed. And not only that, July 11th, guys.
Oh.
We're going to hit you right between the eyes in July. Not only that, July 11th, Mark Russell live on the line in studio. We're going to have local creator Stephen Lolito. He will be here. Our resident kind of Mark Russell expert will be here in studio with us. And
not to mention Sweetheart.
And a big Sweetheart math magician is on pre-order right now, issue number 2.
Issue 2. Yes,
so
absolutely.
You guys check that out.
All for it.
Love it.
We'll get into we'll talk about the series, the boys series next week.
Oh,
we'll get into that. Yeah, because I've got. I know. But I haven't watched it yet, so I got to get caught up.
Yeah.
All of it? You ever watched any of it?
I haven't watched any of season 4. Oh no, I saw the first episode. I haven't seen it.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm super glad.
I liked what I saw.
I'm super glad that they confirmed it's going to be ending with season 5 because I can't do any more of this.
Okay, do you think that's weird with the timing? Is that they announced it?
He cut me off. He didn't let me finish. So
they announced that it's ending. Sorry, they announced it's ending when the 4th season's starting.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird though, isn't it?
Why can't they do any more of this?
Why can't they just do it when the season 4 ends?
Because how much can they milk the Homelander Butcher?
No,
back
but I'm saying why can't they do it when the season ends?
Yeah,
I got no problem. Well, that's the thing. I got no problem with the Homelander Butcher thing. It's almost not even a thing this season so far. It's very little.
Were they
bit of
not
a thing.
beefing in the kitchen in the beginning or in the middle of the beginning of the first episode?
Yeah, we're on episode 4. It hasn't really happened again.
Episode 5 dropped today.
Yeah, and episode 5 dropped today. I didn't watch today's, but I watched the other 4, and
they be beefing.
I'm on
they
3.
be beefing because it's Homelander's son. The whole Homelander's son.
Oh, yeah, he's back in the equation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it hasn't been so much Homelander and Butcher. It's been Homelander and his son and Butcher and Homelander's son.
Oh, okay.
That's a thing.
Split allegiance.
Shane
because
just said to me, it is not Homelander and Butcher's beef. It is Homelander, his son, and Butcher.
And Homelander's son. Like
there's a triangle.
Yeah, there's a triangle here that's going on that has nothing to do with Homelander and Butcher. It has everything to do with the son.
Yeah, like
where the son is driving Homelander crazy. Yeah. And Butcher is connecting with Homelander's son more than Homelander
and he's
is.
trying to get because his so it's still the Butcher Homelander story.
Conflicting allegiance.
What?
Yeah.
But
you're wrong here, Paul.
Yeah,
I'm not wrong. They're ending it on season 5 because
Tessa, stop him. Stop him in his tracks. He's wrong.
Stop him.
But no, honestly, it makes me more invested in this season to know that like we're coming to
right.
It's not going to be open-ended The Boys for the rest of eternity.
I agree 100%.
And we've got Gen V. Gen V got a reference in episode 1, I think.
Yeah.
About like the disease that was kind of developed.
They've talked
Gen
about
V.
doing another series that's going to be tied into it, right?
Yeah, they're going to do a bunch of spinoffs.
Yeah. But I agree with Paul. I like
when you know there's a finish line.
You agree with him, so you're saying he's right then.
With that one, he's right.
Okay, I'm just saying.
But it makes sense. Like when you know that there's a definite finish line, kind of like Stranger Things. When you know that the series is going to end at season X. Then then it's good. You can read it
to get there.
Yeah,
I like
you can.
Stranger Things, but
me too.
Dang, bro.
I tried to hold out, but I couldn't wait anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't.
What? You stopped?
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah.
I didn't stop. I thought
season. What season was that?
I stopped episode like 2 of season 2.
I
don't think he watched. He watched the first season.
The first season is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The second season lost me.
No, I got.
How many seasons are there?
I held it. I held in there.
4 now.
Yeah, there's 4. 5.
I think I may have stopped at 3.
4.5 or 4.
I'm just saying that
it was right around the pandemic when they kept delaying, and then it got to a point where we're well past the pandemic.
Are you warming up?
It's no longer an excuse. Where's the show?
Well, Millie Bobby Brown's going to be 30 by the time the final season comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm like, these kids are too old. And plus, I want
kids are not kids anymore.
Right.
Millie Bobby Bon Jovi.
Plus, I wanted the black kid to be Miles Morales. He could have been Miles Morales and back by now.
Now
he can be Uncle Aaron.
Yeah, he can't be Uncle Aaron at this point.
He is old. But I'm saying this. He is old. He's old.
What's that kid's name?
Miles.
Kevin? No, I can't remember. I'm saying this about Stranger Things. It is a very character-driven show. So if you like the characters, and you can. I didn't have much of a problem just hanging in there and just going bah. I didn't have because the acting is super good and the script is super good as well.
Very nostalgic stuff.
Yeah, it's nostalgic too, man. Like it.
Caleb McLaughlin.
Yeah,
there you go.
Uncle Caleb.
And I honestly, I bought Target had them. I bought the 2 DVD or was the Blu-ray sets that they had for the first 2 seasons. That are shaped like overgrown like boxes, like VHS cartridges.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is, I hope they keep doing it. Keep that. That's cool. That's so awesome.
Tessa said that she heard that they're going to be using CGI to de-age them. I'm not sure if she's joking or not, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point. We're using CGI for everything.
Well,
they got money to pay.
You say like it's funny that you say that like it's so character driven. So if you're with the characters, like you stick with it.
Yeah,
that's what happened to me. Hopper.
Yeah.
He did something in season 2, and I already wasn't loving it. And he did something that I was like, what are you doing?
I know. Use
your brain.
This isn't very Hopper.
And then I was like, I'm good. They were like, I literally stopped watching when Hopper jumped in the upside down little hole on that farm.
Yeah.
And when the kids were in that abandoned van when they were trying to get to all the other numbered kids.
Right.
And I was like, I'm good.
That's what did it for you?
It took your interest from 11 down to like 3.
No, it took my interest from a 7 to like a 2.
Well, listen.
I
when it
loved
comes-
the first season. I
when
thought
it
the
comes
first
to
season
Paul-
was phenomenal.
When it comes to Paul, it does take one thing will throw him right off the
TV's a
track.
lot, dude. TV's a lot.
He doesn't like TV, man.
TV's a lot.
Not a big fan of TV. Paul.
The television.
True Detective season 1 though.
Bro,
If I've learned
Acolyte
nothing
having
from
30-minute
Paul-
episodes is right in the wheelhouse.
Right
though.
up my alley. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Bang those out.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Marcus, what do you got for the people? Hey.
Oh man.
He said it. Paul said it. What do you do with those episodes?
Bang them out.
Oh. We're getting close to the front row card show, aren't we?
Shane,
July 13th and 14th.
Yeah, July.
Top flop
Top cop. Drop card flop.
card.
Yeah, so those guys 13th, 14th. So hey, check that. Make sure if you haven't tried or went down there and participated in that, check it out. It's actually a fun time.
It's going to be the biggest show. 450 vendors. All the tables are sold out.
Wow. Yeah. So check it out. Definitely. Follow them on RG for other updates. Apparently their Pasadena show was really good too. So they're doing well. So
They're going to go. They're going to be in Seattle, like in August or September. They're going up to Seattle for a weekend there too.
Really?
Yep.
Oh wow. So front row card show. Check it out. That'll be that's only like 3 weeks. So within 3 weeks. So check it out. Follow them on Instagram for other updates. Their Pasadena show. They just had the Pasadena show. It was really good, I hear. So very cool for that. I like Pasadena. That's a nice town.
Yeah,
actually.
Pasadena's fun.
Yeah. So that's all I got for you.
Shane, what do you have for the people?
I just want to say thank you to Marcus. Marcus brought in these. Let me see that.
Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime.
He did.
Yes.
He brought in Uncle Scrooge, the Infinity Diamond. Dime.
Shane, you're an Infinity Diamond.
I'm sorry, I'm drunk.
You're the diamond. He's the diamond.
Yeah, he brought in a copy of this for me because it is fantastic. And I wanted it, and he brought it in because Marcus is that dude. Thank you so much, Marcus. I just want to thank you with all my heart and
And
soul.
that, what if Donald Duck was Wolverine? That's coming out. I think the FOC was this week for that. So what if Donald Duck became Wolverine, number 1?
That is a lot of fun. Is there marshmallows on it?
Yeah.
What a cutie.
Right.
But
So,
thank you, Marcus. I
yes,
love
and
you.
enjoy. Might have to get Paul one too.
You know what?
Does Paul, you have one?
I'll take it. I mean, if you got it.
I'll take it.
Paul, how do they contact us all the way up to 11 in the Upside Down?
They contact us all the way up to 11 in the Upside Down at Into the West Comics on Instagram, TikTok,
Frank.
Spotify, Apple Pods, at Into_Comics on Twitter. We've been dropping clips on a fairly regular basis, once or twice a week.
Apple Pie?
Apple Pie. Yeah, find us on Apple Pie.
Apple Pie. That sounds good
And
right
also
now.
go watch. Frank and I have been doing some retrospectives on the first season of House of Dragons, and kind of we're going to go all the way through up into where it is now. The last video is doing really well. We're really appreciative of that.
Thank you.
And it's my personal favorite thumbnail that I've ever made. So go check that out for me, if nothing else.
House of
But no, for real, thanks
It
for
is very
everybody
funny.
who watched that. If you're in the chat,
Yeah, appreciate it.
you guys. And like, comment, subscribe. Go to Shane's grinder.
Please.
Yeah,
I
get over
recommend it.
on Shane McDiamond's grinder.
Ooh, Shane
don't like it.
McDiamond.
Guys,
You like it.
we appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us tonight. Remember, next week, not Thursday, Wednesday.
Next
July
Wednesday.
3rd, 4th of July Eve, 5:30. We'll still be drinking Trulies.
And we'll still be cracking wise.
Listen,
Cracking wise.
man, come on, man. All right. So anyway, yeah, guys,
Frank's
have a
biting.
great evening.
Come on, man.
Pizza.
It's pizza time in America.
We're going to pizza?
Ravioli.
What do you guys want to get? Fried ravioli. Pizza time.
Pizza.
You want to get fried ravioli again?
Pizza time in America. Guys, have a
do that.
great evening. We appreciate you so much. We'll talk to
Tessa
you
said
soon.
night all, but mostly Frank.
Bye.
Whatever,
Aw,
Tessa.
Wow. Night, Tessa.
Tessa, you shouted
Bye,
out to me
Tessa.
earlier, so yes. Good
Bye,
night. Have
Eva.
a good
I
night.
love you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, Liz. I love you.
Appreciate you.
See, I did it too.
Good night, Liz.
Good.
We love you,
Bye,
Liz.
Tessa. I love
We
you.
love you. We love you, Liz, too.
Yeah.
We love you, Eva.
We love you, Eva.
I guess mine's Tessa. I mean, love you. I love you, Tessa. Love you.
Bye.
Oh, God.
Stop it.